God. Protect them, O Lord. Father, we ask you to pray for all the citizens of this community. Pray for all the businesses that they'll prosper and continue to go on. Father, we pray. Father, we ask you, Father, you pray and preside over this meeting tonight. Everything go well. We place those in the seat, oh Father, they can realize that they're going to be servants for those that for your children, dear God. And Father, as those that are going out, dear God, continue to bless them. We ask all these blessings in Jesus' name. And everyone that loves the Lord says amen.
Amen. Everyone, please face and salute the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Salute to the Texas flag. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. I'd like to welcome everyone to our special meeting. This is to review the election results and the first item on the agenda is to consider and possible action regarding an ordinance of the City of Cleveland canvassing of the returns and declaring the results of the general election held on June 18, 2022. And the ordinance of the City of Cleveland, Texas, canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the runoff of the general election held on June 18, 2022. Candidate Desiree David received 160. Rachel Hall received 146. Desiree David won that seat. This is place number 4. List number 5 is Fred Terrell, 212. Mike Gold, 97. So Fred wins that position. I need a motion to consider this ordinance to pass this ordinance, and also let the record show that Danny's not here or neither.
Mayor, with that, I would like to go ahead and make a motion that we accept the passage ordinance.
Marilyn made the motion. Eddie seconded it. Any other discussion in the council? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Those against, same sign. Okay, item number 2 is accept the election results. Position number 4 and position number 5, and these are certificates of election. We get a motion on that.
Yes, sir. In compliance with that, I would like to go ahead and accept this election results for positions 4 and 5 and issue certificates of election.
Second, Marilyn made the motion that we accept this. Eddie seconded. Any other discussion by council? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Same against.
You can give up their election certificates and then just the page.
So we just do it swearing.
Yes, sir.
Where is it? Should do this and then should do that too. You just give me 2. Fred, I don't know where I swear you in or swear at you.
Desiree.
Okay. Desiree? You be first.
wouldn't know which is which. Or here, I wouldn't know which is which.
Oh, Fred. I'm gonna get this right first. You ready for all this? Raise your right. You're gonna say your name. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of this office of councilman, position number 4, the city of Cleveland, the state of Texas, and of the city of Cleveland, that I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. You're done. Just gonna try to get some pictures, maybe. Radio. We're going to be here in the question number 4. Raise your right hand. I
Brady Jones,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties
the duties
of the council
of the council
office of council member,
office of council member,
position 4.
position,
4.
Sorry, that was mine.
It is. Okay. You're right. You're right. In the state of Texas
in the state of Texas
and the city of Cleveland,
and the city of Cleveland,
that I will, to the best of my ability,
I will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you, Greg. Good to have you. This has been a long time coming. Fred, you want to introduce your guest?
My
Mary.
guest, this is my wife, Mary.
Hello, everyone.
Desiree, you introduce I know your grandmother and your mom.
Yes, my grandmother, Etta David, my mom, Yolanda, and my 2 kids, Davy and Ethan.
Item 4 was the presentation of plaques to Danny Lee and Mr. Laura Sterry. And we have them, they're not here, so we will get them to them. But it basically, in sincere appreciation of your dedication and years of service as council member for the city of Cleveland. This is Danny Lee, the same one would go to Ms. Terry. These will be given at some time. Danny, of course, is going to be missed. I already missed him. I told him that last night. He probably will be back. That's what the chairs feel. Okay. Okay. Item 5, public comments. Rachel, you want to be first?
Sure.
Rachel Hall.
You remember you have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
It won't start until she gets back.
We have an extra 30 seconds.
My name is Rachel, I live at 1
She will let you know when you have 1 minute left.
Rachel, you can talk 3.5 minutes, or you can talk 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, council and mayor. I'm actually coming to you today as a resident and a mother in the community. I have a 14-year-old daughter who's a skateboarder on these streets because we don't have sidewalks, and a 16-year-old daughter who's learning to drive. A couple of months ago, we had someone else at council who came to visit about commercial trucks speeding through their neighborhood. She was in tears and she talked about the quality of life. Over this weekend alone, I've noticed several 18-wheelers and dump trucks with full loads going down Isaac Street, twice on Finner, once on Isaacs, once on Hanson, once on South Line. 2 weeks ago, I witnessed another commercial truck blow through a stoplight in town, and I was concerned I was going to witness a fatality, something that I have actually seen before in another city where I live, where unfortunately a young girl going to get a poster board for a project was killed on impact with cross traffic. And again, as a mother, as a daughter who's learning to drive, my concern is about the safety of our streets. The speeding, and I know they can't stop on a dime, but the traffic enforcement. And so I know some people will question, well, where is Cleveland PD? I had the opportunity to do a ride-along with Cleveland PD this weekend, and they're out doing their job. I will say from Friday until Sunday, they dispatched over 100 calls of service and multiple crashes on 59 South. I was actually in the unit witnessing nobody moving over, nobody slowing down. They don't have the radars in their units to proactively protect our community with traffic enforcement. I know some people don't want to be known as like a speed trap or something. You don't want your friends and neighbors getting speeding tickets. But last year, we ran an article on Blue Bonnet News interviewing Chief and the need for radars, where he said it's not about getting more tickets, it's about reducing the number of fatalities. And so I'd just like to bring this to your attention about the needs for the equipment at the police department and the impact it's having on everyday lives. Because I'm not the only mother. I have many other kids on the streets or those neighboring streets that are walking, they're playing ball, their pets are out there, and we have very large trucks. I actually brought camera, like pictures, because that's how I am, but I didn't know how to share it with y'all. But I really would just like to use the last few seconds to say that we need more traffic enforcement and more than 2 people on patrol in order to successfully do that when they're running over 100 calls just in 2 days over the weekend. So I know you can't respond to me right now, but I hope you make that a priority and very soon.
He called you Desiree.
Oh,
I didn't mean that.
I thought you had a question.
Mr. Rodney Harrison, he's got a minute.
I say as a city council, city manager, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I say congratulations to the new members, to our new city council. I'm a citizen of Cleveland. I've lived here for over 50 years. I believe that the city of Cleveland is a good, specific, for good people. The mayor and city council have made great tasks, strides in making our city respectful in the right manner. They made great steps. And with the appointment of these 2 councilmen, I think they will continue to move forward. Mr. Fred Taylor and Ms. Davis will make great strides to continue to make the city of Cleveland a competent, respectful city that produces great citizens, and we can actually help the standard of living that we need. I look forward to assisting the city council along with the citizens of Cleveland as I become mayor of this fine city in the near future. I say again, thank you so much, and I believe that we can make Cleveland an outstanding city. Thanks, sir.
Appreciate you. Ashley, do you want to speak about the 4th of July just for a second? You can do it better than I can.
There's some flyers that are sitting up here as well. So July the 4th,
is actually gonna be on Sunday, July the 3rd. The gates will open at 7:30. We will actually have, the stadium, the concession, and, things like that open for, visitors. We'll have the north and south side of the stadium open. We'll also have staff parking that will be closer to the stadium as well. The fireworks this year, we've upgraded those to a 25-minute fireworks display this year, working with our company that we've used in the past, Celestial Displays. And we look forward to a great show this year.
Thank you, Ashley. You're welcome. Anyone else have anything to say? Welcome, Mr. Carter, President of the School Board, here with us. What can I be?
Is there food truck fusion Thursday?
Do what?
Is it food truck fusion Thursday?
Thursday, it's at the old fireman's hall, right? That's where they come.
Correct.
What time does it start? 12?
11 to 1 at, Hampton Street, and it'll be this coming Thursday.
You know how many trucks you got?
We have 4 trucks.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else, anything? Item 6, discussion of possible action on approval of a resolution to rename field number 2 to the Albert Chop Gonzalez Field at the Municipal Sports Park, as requested by this brother to honor his dedication to the community. So she was here with us last meeting and requested that be renamed, and I think we all agree.
The council passes the resolution tonight, it will be similar to what we did for Kate Contreras. We'll order the sign, and have the sign ready, and then we'll schedule a unveiling, with the family members at the sports park.
Council, any questions?
No questions, sir. With that said, in respect and honor to, the mom of Albert, I would like to make the motion to go ahead and approve this resolution to rename the field Albert Chop Gonzalez.
Second, Carolyn. Have a motion from Marilyn, second from Carolyn. Any other discussion by the council? Put it this way now. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, the same sign. Item 7 is consideration and possible action on agreement with South Cleveland Water Supply for an emergency water supply interconnect, and if needed, authorize mayor to sign the agreement.
Council, we do have, Robert Meadows in the audience tonight, if y'all have any questions in regards to the agreement. And Cookie McKee, is here for the South Cleveland Water Supply. You've got a copy of the updated agreement at your desk that has the exhibits, and the updated agreement that Ms. Powell worked together with. And so we do have those resources if you have any questions in regards to the agreement tonight.
Cookie, you want to come talk to us about it?
Sure. I'd be happy to.
Good evening, thank you for your consideration. Just a little history about us. We were formed in 1992 by a group of community leaders that were very proud of this city and this area and lived down in the rural area and wanted to supply quality water services out there. Some of them are people you'd probably recognize, like Mr. Crowley that owned the Crowley Center here, and Mr. McNorton and Mr. Swan, several fine community members, and they had like-minded community leaders that were friends of theirs on the city council that they worked with as well. The plant was built and finalized in 1994, and this interconnect was put into place. The thought process was that as we built this plant, that was a first-time water source for folks out there in the rural area that were giving up their wells and becoming members of this water supply corporation, that in case something happened, because the first plant was small and just getting started, there would be some kind of emergency services to provide water for these folks who would otherwise be in a bind and not have water. There was no written agreements at that time. It was a time and place where folks made handshake deals and agreed to everything. And that interconnect has been in place for 28 years now, the very interconnect that we're speaking about tonight. And when Winter Storm Uri hit and so many people had issues with utilities, the Public Utility Commission came together and they decided that we needed to have an emergency protection plan for the future. And there were certain requirements that had to be met, and every utility had to file an emergency protection plan. So you folks had to file one for your utility, we had to file one for ours. As part of that utility emergency protection plan, we had to provide a written agreement between the city of Cleveland and between us for the interconnect that existed. They no longer wanted just verbal agreements, they needed something in writing. So that's how this took flight and came to be where it is today. I reached out to Robert and talked to him about it at the time, and he said that y'all had decided to disconnect the interconnect service that we had. We had no knowledge of it, we weren't notified, but it was on the Drinking Water Watch webpage from TCEQ that when y'all filed your emergency protection plan that you had disconnected it. So now it's just on our page and I need to update mine and correct it one way or the other. This is something that we felt like was a good neighbor thing. We've tried to be good neighbors as well. Back in November of 2000, we started collecting money for the City of Cleveland Fire Department. They service our rural area, and we realized that it was outside of the taxing authority. So to give them some assistance with servicing that area, we add on a $1 donation on everybody's water bill that we send out. We now have almost 1,100 customers. So we collect money for them every month, and we remit that to them every month. Since 2000, we have remitted over $182,000 to the City of Cleveland Volunteer Fire Department as voluntary funds, and we continue to do that each month. We also support the fire department when they come out and need our water to use to put out fires. So we do that at no charge for the City of Cleveland as well, allow them to use our water. Our largest customer is your Cleveland ISD Service Center. And we supply quite a bit of water to them each month, and they're about to put in a bus wash, so we're going to be supplying quite a bit more water to them each month. So there is some areas where we kind of overlap. Our boundaries, in case you're curious, are Rice Street all the way down past Countrywood, and then the 105 and the Highway 59. We have over 33 miles of line in the ground. We're really very proud of our water system. We do an excellent job. If you look at the TCEQ website, you would see that in 2020 and 2021, both of those years, we were selected by TCEQ and awarded the Innovative and Proactive Award for both of those years. Our name's right up there with the City of Houston, Corpus Christi, Galveston, many other big cities, because we work at a very strong level to be right there at the top. In 2019, we were awarded by the Texas Rural Water Association as the best small water supply system in the whole state of Texas. So we have no violations. We do a really good job. We're really proud of the work we do. That interconnect is important to us as a backup in case of emergencies. We have never used it in the 28 years. We never had a problem where we even had to use it during the big freeze. We never had to use it during Harvey. We have standing generators permanently attached at both of our wells. We do our maintenance and service so that all of our equipment runs very well and is up to speed, up to modern technology. So I would hope that you would consider just leaving it like it is. We would like that it not to even be done, just leave it like it is and we can update it. We're updating some of our other equipment with some modern stuff, but we look forward to hearing your decision one way or the other, and we appreciate that. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
We know it will.
We don't. We have never used it, and I don't think it's been flushed, but we can make it workable if it hasn't worked. At some point, someone has gone out and taken off one of the valve gates, sawed it off and taken it off. That would be on outside of our plant. We thought it was maybe possibly someone from your utility that took it off, maybe when they disconnected it, but we've been told that probably isn't the case, that they don't know who took it off. So, you know, there's some things we need to do to rehab it, but we are willing to do that at our cost and get it up to speed. And we certainly want it to be something that's workable for both of us. We're in the process of building our third and fourth wells, and at some point, once that's done, it would be conceivable that we could also support the city of Cleveland as a backup water source if some of your services went down. And, you know, we'd be happy to do that as well.
Yeah, I asked about that.
Mhm.
No,
No, not at this time. We just don't have a big enough service line to do that. If we tried, it probably wouldn't provide you much water, but we would be willing to do that in the future. If you recall, it's been probably last year when we came here, we set a contract on a piece of land, and we were going to build our third plant in the ETJ, and it didn't work out, so we haven't done that yet, but we're still in the process. We've got some feelers out on some more land, and so hopefully our third, definitely our fourth will be built soon.
So Cookie, this is just something that y'all need as a backup?
It's something that the regulatory officials, the TCQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, they ask for you to have as many backup plans as possible. It's not a requirement, but it's been there, and it's been on the drinking water watch site. Texas TCQ has come out and visually seen it there, so they had it listed. And it was just something that has been there all this time as a backup and fail-safe, and it's been a good thing to have.
If y'all get your wells up, it would be a good thing for us, Rob.
We have 10 acres. We have 13 acres now. Near them, but that's what I was gonna ask.
Yes, you do. In fact, we have some inquiries into some folks to find out if that was available for purchase. We didn't know if y'all were gonna sell that or what your plans were for some of that acreage, but we were looking to purchase some of that as well. So that's probably another discussion another day, but we would like, if that worked out there, we could build a new interconnect right there at that location if we could purchase 3 of those acres.
Robert, tell us what you think about it.
The interconnect, it's benefiting them, meters basically fine. We can always, in the future, if we start going to, we can't keep up with our growth is. We can look at it, and at that time, we still have a lot of stuff we have coming in that new infrastructure that we added to our system, Grand Oaks, and their next phase, they're going to put in elevated doors. Fire station, yeah, the train station, we try to put that into our system, so it benefits us.
Well, that's my question, that not necessarily that it benefits us, but that it doesn't work against us.
It's on their water watch as an interconnect, but it's nothing on ours. Never be posted on ours, but that's saying he never been contact on. The old boy handshake system. So there, you say I have something, but I don't do an application. So
Should we see if we can, it works, Robert? I mean, that'd be something that,
It needs to move.
they work.
It needs to move. In my opinion, because like she said before, where it's at now is actually in their water district.
Right.
So where our interconnect officially, where it's actually connected in the city on Wright Street, you have a good, almost I'm gonna say mile, it's a little bit less than that, until it even gets to the meter where it's even registered. So anything between that and that meter, if they ever need the water, it's water loss, if there's ever a leak. So once again, never been told this, they are aware that they were told it was ours. As I've always been told, Wright Street is where we, everything that way is there.
Mayor, so do we know why it was pulled, even though this is something that was in place years ago? Do you know the reason why?
I was just, as I was always told, it was never something done, so we were one that's connected to our system. So there's nothing saying that it's true there.
Looks like y'all never used that though, have you?
We haven't, but when it was installed, it was engineered and done as part of our plant and part of the agreement between the city of Cleveland and South Cleveland Water Supply. And so when it was engineered and put in place originally, it was tested and it was a working interconnect.
Do you have that in writing somewhere?
I have it in some meeting minutes, but it's not, there's never been an agreement. It was always just a agreement between the parties. They didn't put anything in writing back in those days. There's nothing in writing about the fire department using our water and our hydrants. There's nothing in writing about the collections we do for the fire department. So there was never anything done in writing back when these things were implemented.
There's no reason for us not to do it, Robin? There's no reason for us not to do the
Oh, no,
thing.
I
I
mean,
mean, you think it's,
yeah, it would, like I said, I just wanted, I wanted us to have a contract.
well, I think they would like.
And like I
Also,
said, it
to
would.
make sure that it,
Not only would we like it, it's required by the TCQ at this point. We can't do it without a contract anymore. We have to submit a copy of that contract to the regulatory authorities at this point. They didn't require it before March 1st, but now they do.
We need to get an agreement before we do this, or we take it.
Well, if it's not a negative impact on our city,
No.
I don't know why we don't be good friends and go ahead and go through with it. In fact, I'll make that as a motion.
Cookie, do you have a problem with the new location that Robert suggested that was sent to you today in Exhibit 1A or A1?
I don't have a problem with it. The only downside to it is it's gonna be very costly to re-engineer what's already been done and move it to that location, and it will be our cost, of course, because it's for us. So I do have to get it approved by my board of directors. I can't authorize the expense without their approval to move it.
Mayor, even though I see this as updated agreement, is there any legal concerns that we have?
legally,
No, we've worked on it, we're satisfied with it. Should you want to approve it, we are fine with it.
When we get other documentation as to what they need in TCQ, do we have to do that, or do they?
No, that's between you and TCEQ.
But we can put it in the motion to get it
We
made.
would have to update, we would have to go into our side. You report.
The agreement that you have tonight has the exhibit with the new location. And I believe, it states in here that that will be part of the party. Now, when they take it back to, their board, they may come back and ask for an amendment to the contract, because their attorney had a copy of it today, and he didn't have any legal issues with it, but she still needs to take it to their board to see if they'll accept it. So she may still come back to council and say, we'd like to provide an amendment before approving it. So if y'all approve it tonight, she'll then go to their board and say, council has approved it with the new location. Are y'all agreeable with that? And they'll say, no, we want to amend it. Then they'll come back and then have that amendment. And then y'all need to decide whether you agree to the amendment. And then if both parties then agree, then it'll be a fully signed contract.
Yes, ma'am.
Second the motion, Greg Terrell.
you made the motion for it?
Yes.
Carolyn, you got the other, I mean, are you
No,
satisfied?
yeah.
Fred made the motion, Marilyn seconded. Any other discussion about council? Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, excuse me. Any other discussion? I'm trying to get you out. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Against, raise the same sign. Item 8 is discuss and take action concerning the recording of the City of Cleveland executive meetings as provided by and allowed by the state of Texas law.
It was, 2 months or so ago, it was passed by council to change our executive session from just a certified agenda to actually videotaping, the agenda, or the executive sessions. Those executive sessions are not subject to open records. They do require a subpoena to be viewed, so there are regulations. It is now asked that we go back to the certified agenda so that the videotaping would not occur. So if that would be the case for council, it would simply take a motion to revert back to the certified agenda, and so there would no longer be any videotaping. The 2 meetings that were videotaped will be retained for the 2 years that are required by record retention, and at that time, they would be destroyed. They are secured at this time, but we would just go back to the certified agenda, which again is still sealed under the subpoena, and it's kept for 2 years.
Mayor, if I may, I would like to go ahead and make that motion to revert this back to the certified agenda.
I would like to second that, Mayor.
Marilyn made the motion, Eddie seconded it. Any other discussion by council? All those in favor, raise your right hand, same sign again. We're gonna have a short executive session. As soon as it's over, though, we're gonna have the actual drinks and things for, should be short, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, guys, I don't know if everybody's met Mary Ann. She's gonna be our council. Councilor. We're gonna vet her next week. We're back in session. Got a motion that, Eddie, you want?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Robert Reynolds as the interim city manager until the new city manager is hired, with no extra compensation.
I'll second that.
I think Fran suggested we take money from you.
There you go.
Wait a minute, I have to work with all y'all? No, you don't have.
You don't?
No
car
allowance.
That door is
I'm
open.
not saying no.
Okay.
Are you declining longer?
Now, this is just interim. There's no grandiose thoughts of it.
If you decline, you can get Willie Carter.
You made the motion.
Yes.
Is there any other discussion on the council? All those in favor, please raise your right hand, and against the same sign. Okay, Eddie, I'll take that motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Marilyn, you'll second.
Second.
All those in favor, right hand, let's go home.
Well, let's have the party first. We
Okay.
got, one picture with the new people, and we got good
Darryl, you're
Yes,
off
sir.
the hook.
I'm off the hook.
Yes, all the council